Hey guys, this is Doctor McFarland coming at you once again. I am doing another night of session prep. I really have about 3 projects I'm working on right now. So, what I'm doing is let's make sure let's go to my downloads folder and just make sure I have what I need. Okay, so I did the first song last night, Circles in My Mind. This is by an artist called Devin Carter. I'm not going to be playing full tracks at all. I'm just going to be importing tracks in, maybe do some slight track organization, stuff like that, and then just moving on. Really just getting the discovery process down on these tracks. So we got Heartbeat, Look at Us, and then Make Girls Cry. How dare you? So we're going to do a new session, and we're going to make sure we put this on the 4 terabyte hard drive. So I have a session or a folder called Mixbus sessions, and then we're going to go down to, I think his name, yeah, there's Circles in My Mind. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a folder for him called Devin Carter. And then that way I can make a new session called Heartbeat. We'll just call it Heartbeat for now. Okay, I'm going to do an empty template. Even though I probably should do some kind of mixed template with this, I'm not really certain what tracks are involved. So I'm going to choose my Fireface for the in and out. Sample rate's 44.1, and then buffer size is 248 samples. Because yesterday's session was a little bit larger, and all my faders just moved here. So I am using a 34-inch widescreen. So let me pull this over so you can see everything in the window. That'll be fine, just like that. And we're going to do Command I for import. Okay. And 4 terabyte Mixbus sessions. Oh no, hold on. I need to be in downloads. Is this where I'm importing in? Mac downloads. So import in your stems from wherever they are. We got a lot of stuff going on here. And over in this corner, it does say sample rate 44.1, 32-bit float, and all that. So I'm going to hit shift so it highlights all of them and just start importing. So this is 50 tracks, which I think he does have one track that is the reference track, and then another one is a rough mix. The rough, as they call it in the industry. Hey man, you got a rough? Gonna base it on the rough. So make sure you guys can hear me okay. Go ahead and comment in the chat. Let me know. And I do plan on doing more pre-recorded videos. At least one coming out later this week, possibly on Friday. But for right now, I need to spend every waking moment trying to get these sessions going. I have about 3 different mix projects I need to finish, or at least get a good start on. So that's my goal this week, just to get 2 of these at least started and halfway get a good rough mix going. And then the third one is for a country band up in Kentucky. So I need to get all those mixes at least roughed in so I can send them to the band. They can let me know if they need to redo any vocals or maybe update any tracks. Kind of give some guidance on what may or may not need to be added or taken away. So that way I'm not doing like full on mixes of anything. And then they say, oh, well, we don't really like the vocals, so we got to come back in and redo it. Or maybe the guitar player has to redo a solo or, whatever. So it's really just a matter of getting some good rough mixes down and then just going from there. So, hello, one person who's watching. Go ahead and give me your name, where you're from, and if you have any questions about recording or Mixbus in general. And what is that? Yeah, so one is he has a Heartbeat premix master in here. And we are clipping on those. We're clipping in the red, so. And then there's also a reference track that we can look at, which is also clipped in the red. So not a huge deal. It's just, he did say he wants the lefts to be pretty high, and that's fine. We can do that. So let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm going to be playing a little bit of audio here, and everything should be connected and sounding pretty good. I'm using the RME Total Effects, as well as the Ladiocast, and also some kind of black box software. And this is all suggestion from a RME video that I watched. And if you're used to using anything like loopback or whatever, then this is just another option. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and this is something really cool. So we can take this reference track right here and we can actually make it inactive. So there's no volume or anything. And we can also make it not visible. Okay. And I did that in the editor list right here. So we have a V for visible and then an A for active. So I just uncheck those boxes. And now my track is still there, but it's not active. So therefore it's not heard and all that fun stuff. And then the next track, which we have two right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for these. And then let's go ahead and select these and then move them down to the bottom. Like so. So we moved those tracks down. And now we have, let's see what we have here. We have a little I love you part, which is probably a vocal of some sort. Put that right below that vocal. We've got a white noise sweep, which I had some white noise in the other track. And then we have some hats. We have an intro pad. Here's a kick snare. Pre-drop toms. Reverse cymbal. Snare buildup. All right, so let's take these and let's move them to the very top here. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a drum bus, and we'll color it. And if you like a color, you can right click on any of these boxes and say save color here. So now we have that blue color that's always going to be there, just like that. Okay. First drop high synth. So these are synths. A synth swell. So we have a lot of synths here. Bass piano chords. Let's move these synths down a little bit. Just above the white noise sweep. And I'll go ahead and group the white noise together. So if you watched my live stream last night, then you'll know that I kind of already did a lot of this process for the other song. But you're gonna watch me do it again. Because I'm just working here. You have the benefit of just kind of looking over my shoulder. Ooh, this has thunder in it, so let's check that out. So we're gonna highlight this section, then press A for audition. Baby. Yeah. So the audition tool is something that Mixbus does really well. I'm not really sure if any other DAW that has that. Here's an intro pad. Here's a mid bass. Let's bring that bass up here. Here's some hats. Drop tom fill. Okay, so let's move these up. Like so. Bass piano chords. Let's see what these sound like. Okay. Just make sure it wasn't coming out of the speakers. Okay, so there's that. So we got some piano going on there. Here's a cymbal ride. We'll bring that up. Let's move these pianos down here. There's a bright piano melody. And they look like they've been played at roughly the same time. So we'll keep these grouped together. And we'll put them right above the synth. We'll move the drop rim up here. Now, all this stuff can be alleviated if the person who is sending you tracks actually numbers the tracks. Otherwise, everything's going to be exported in alphabetical order, and you're going to have to regroup all this, like, all the time. So here's a bass shot. Let's see what that sounds like here. Beautiful. Okay. Pretty interesting. So I just did a Shift V to get back to my previous state. And just a few more organization stuff. See, here's all my drops. So let's go ahead. Let's make a group out of this. We'll also make that orange. Drop box. We'll move this down here with the other vox. Like that. I'll go ahead and group that together. And we'll make this yellow. I'll save that color there. So that way we can get back to it if we need to. Synth reverse. So let's move that up here. So we'll put it right before the synth, and then we'll add it to the group like that. So it goes to the same color. These are all drop synths. Then we still got piano stuff, so we'll make that all the same group. We got a mid bass, drop percussion, drop impact, drop rim. Okay. Not too bad. Let's just say we're gonna Group all this together. We'll call it drop. And this is going to be green because we don't really have any guitars in here. So we'll make the drop green. And then we'll make these blue. Anything else that we're missing in here? Okay, we have some intro pad stuff. Here's some shaker. Here's some sub bass. Yeah. Alright, let's put the intro pad in with the synth. We'll put it right above the drop synth. Right here. Actually, we'll put it right there. And then I'll add it to the synth group. So that way the whole thing is orange. Okay? And we're almost done with this, folks. Piano melody. Let's make that. Let's put it right here. Actually, no. Let's put it with the bright piano stuff. That makes way more sense to do it that way. Let's ungroup that. We'll put it in right there. Alright, so now that's all grouped together. We'll have the shakers. Let's move that up to the drums. We'll put it right before the drop rim. Then we'll add that to the drum group. And then we have a bass and we have a thunder. So not really sure where the thunder needs to go, but let's go ahead and highlight most of these together. And then let's put the bass. We have a sub bass. Let's put it right there. Actually, let's put it right before the drums. Like so. And we'll just go ahead and group that together. Okay, so everything's grouped. So now let's just go down the line. We're going to say this is going to be sent to Mixbus 1. My bass and drop is going to be 2. And I'm holding down command as I do this. My synth is going to be 3. My white noise, let's go ahead and make that a different color. Let's make that purple. White noise is going to be 4. And then vocal is going to be 8, because usually my lead vocal is always in 8. And that's all. That's all we're doing for that. So I know I don't have any names on here, but we'll just call these drums. And then we got drop. And then we have, what was it? Synth. White noise. And we have vocal. Okay. We can handle that. Let's move this out a little bit. All right, that's cool. So what we can do now is hit the spill button, and it's only going to spill out what's being sent to that bus. So we got the drop, we got the synth, we got the white noise, and we have the vocal. Okay, it's pretty easy stuff. Let's go ahead and save this. And let's make a new session. And actually, let's do this first. Let's open a session. And I want to go in and I'm going to copy or make a template of my buses here. So that way I can reuse them later. Because we're pretty much using the same kind of stuff for these songs. And that way I can go in and add any reverb, delay, anything like that. So like right here, I need to have a delay on the delay bus. So we'll go to Harrison Consoles. And we're going to put in the triple delay, which looks like that. Okay, then we're going to go in and add some reverb. We use the Harrison Consoles G-Verb stereo. That looks like that. And this first one, this is an iVerb, which is instruments. So we'll just make it like a, we'll make it a chamber, like a fairly short chamber. And then we'll copy and paste this. And then I'm going to make this one a fast plate for the vocal. Make it about 3 seconds or so. And let's go to Harrison Consoles. We'll put on a multi-band compressor, which is this. We'll go ahead and make it -2. And we'll pull this threshold down. So let's just see what happens if I press start. It's thinking. Okay, let's jog the wheel here a little bit, move it up. Alright, so we got some good gain reduction on the bass and the low mids there. Okay, I'm fine with that. Probably don't need too much from the drums, but let's go ahead and select these tracks, and we'll go ahead and save it. We'll go to Mix Tools, Store and Mixer Settings, and this is going to be EDM Mixbus. We'll do selected tracks only. We're going to put it in the global so we can access it from any session. So now any fader, any compression, EQ, any plugins that are on there are going to be added. And this will just be our good like little bass, like our core that has like the names and different effects in there. All right, so let's go back to our other session here. We'll open. We'll go to Heartbeat. We'll save and close the CIMM. Okay. So just for fun, let's go to our track, Mix Tools, recall mixer settings, pick from global settings, and then we'll pick that, and then we'll press OK. So drums are going to go to drums, drop, synth, white noise, vocal, correct. Okay. So looks like our G verbs got added, but not the delay. I'm not really sure why, but it'll be fine. We'll just go back in here. We'll add a triple delay like that. Okay. All right, now for instance, let's go ahead and let's save as a template. We'll call this EDM tracks. We'll save it. We'll make a new session. EDM tracks. I'm not sure what the name of this song is yet, so I'm just going to leave it untitled, which is fine. And you're probably thinking, Nathan, you probably should have made the other one the template, which I probably should have. So let me go back. Let's open. Let's go back to our CIMM. So this time around, instead of I will discard that. Instead of just making a mix tools, we're actually just going to make a template. A master bus template. All right, so session, save template. We're going to do EDM, master. Now, we're going to make a new. We'll save and close. 7 viewers. So let me know your name, where you're from, and if you have any questions about Harrison Mixbus or just recording in general. So our template is EDM master. This is going to allow us to not have to rename so many mix buses and add the effects. Okay, so there's that. Control M goes to our edit window. We have a lot of similar tracks in here. I kind of wish I knew what kind of tracks we were going to have. So for instance, let's go in here and let's say so here's our downloads. The next song is Look at Us. We have Oz, build up, a lot of build up. We have some drops, which we do have drops in here. Shakers, verse, white noise. So once again, we have very similar tracks, but wait, let me do this again. But not similar enough to where I can just be like a 1-for-1 kind of deal. So I need to select all these, and we're gonna delete them. But we're keeping our buses, okay? Keeping the buses. So Command I is import. I already have the track selected. These are 44.1, 32-bit float. And we're just going to say import. 64 tracks. Goodness gracious. Okay. Necro Dogs. How you doing? Tell me your name and where you're from. So next time you chime in, I can somewhat remember who you are and where you're from. So Do you use Mixbus? Do you use Reaper? Do you use Logic? Maybe Studio One? Maybe Pro Tools? Tell me what you use. All DAWs are about the same in functionality. Harrison Mixbus is made and created to look and feel like you're working on a console. So obviously the edit window is very, very similar to any other DAW. It is based on Ardour, which Ardour and Mixbus are kind of like married together. Mixbus is Ardour and Ardour is Mixbus. The only difference is Ardour does not have an EQ and compressor on every channel, nor does it have the busing structure that Mixbus has. So yes, there is preloaded DSP built into Mixbus to make it sound like you're working through a console. So that is the difference between Pro Tools and Studio One and everything else, is you're getting all the goodness under the hood that really makes it stand out. Okay, we'll do what we did last time. We'll go here and we'll disable some tracks here and hide them. They're still there, but we just made them not visible and we deactivated them. Okay. Now, here we go again. So this actually has verse hats, verse sub. All right, so let's bring this up. And for right now, this is the only way to move tracks around in Mixbus. There's not like a drag and drop kind of feature, which maybe one day there will be. See if this is alphabetical order, so let's see if there's any kicks in here. We got drop percussion. We got a whole drop section. So let's go to the end of our drop. And we're going to call this drop. I don't know what the other color of the drop was. I feel like it was purple, maybe. Something like that. We'll just extend it out. Let's see what this drop lead sounds like. All right, this goes all the way up here. So we got drop hats, drop to synth. So anything having to do with drop, we're gonna include it. Okay, and since the tracks are grouped, any range tool selection that you make is gonna select all of them. So. And I was just. Uh-oh, Billy the Vampire is back, folks. Okay, let me go here. Let me make sure my my level is brought up a little bit. Okay, let's try that. One more time. Uh-oh. And I was just. Alright, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, Ardour is kind of free. You can either donate to it or pay like a $50 license or whatever else. But yeah, Ardour is what it is. I didn't even know Ardour existed until I got into this whole Mixbus world. All right, so here's a build up something. Let's just make that green. A lot of buildup going on here. There's some Oz. There's some verse snare. All right, these are drums. Those drums are blue. Oz are like a vocal thing, so let's bring this all the way down to here. And this is 64 tracks. So, kind of crazy. I'll make the Oz very last. Here's some white noise. There's some snares. The only thing on the white noise track is this little blip right here. So there's not a whole lot going on there. Snares, gotta have snares. 2 shakers. Here's a rim, a reverb snare, percussion. Okay, let's bring all this up to the top. And we'll add it into the drums. Okay, like that. We'll just drag it up. So now it's all the same color. Billy's drinking his ice cold Coke in a mug again. Watch out, folks. Okay, we have a high impact, a low sweep, a mid bass, a noise riser, a pad, piano chords, pre-drop snare fill, river sounds. There's a sweep sound. Okay. Let's bring this snare all the way up. Put it right there. Then just add it to the group. And then we can always move things around inside the group when we need to. But for now, I'm just trying to organize all this as quick as I can. So I can just move on. Move on. Alright, so white noise is going to go right after the drop. And that pretty much lines up with all this stuff. Let's put the bass up here. So that way all this lines up. Let's put a sweep. Actually, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. We have a pad, piano chords. Let's group all this stuff together. Let's call it bass impact. And we'll make it a kind of a teal color. Because why not? Pad is going to be orange. Like so. River sounds, a sigh, a sweep, and Oz. Verse sub. Verse sub. Verse 2 sub. Okay, so we're going to call this effects. Make it purple. I think we already have a purple of some sort, but it's okay. Then this is going to be vocal. And that's going to be yellow. All right, now, we already have all of our mix buses named. We have our delays and reverbs, a multiband compressor. Let's put that before the fader. Any kind of EQ and compression needs to go before the fader. Any kind of wet effects need to go after the fader. just like you normally want wet effects to be. All right, so let's go through here. Scroll all the way up. And percussion is going to be sent to drums. Okay. Our build up. Let's see what other options we have. We have a drop, which we already have that there. So let's highlight the drop tracks and send it to the drop bus. We should have a synth here. Bass impact. Let's send that to the, let's just say shakers. We do have a pad, which is going to be a synth. River sounds. Can be white noise. Vocal can be vocal. Okay, this build-up stuff, let's just send that to the Tambo. Okay. All right. Should be good for that. Let's actually go and highlight a little section here. Let's do this section right here. And then we'll press A for audition. So, the volume was a little low, so I used my trim knob on the master bus to bring that up to just below the 0 point. That still gives me plenty of headroom to add, like whatever I want on the master bus. Let's look at what the multiband compression is doing on that. That works for me. I don't remember the name of this song. It was called Look at Us. So when we save this, Command S, it's going to be Look at Us. Okay, there we go. And the last one is called Make Girls Cry. Now, I promise after I get done with this other song, we're going to move on to more of like an acoustic drum, cello kind of feel. So if you don't like the EDM stuff, then that's fine. You'll just stay with me, and we'll move on to another genre of music. Okay? So I was thinking about selling my 34-inch widescreen because I'm like, man, this is, what am I going to do for live streaming? But I do kind of like just making the screen a little, not as wide so it looks normal on a live stream or even just in a video. I still have a little extra something over here to where I could pull up like a total effects or do whatever I wanted, and it want to be actually shown on the screen. So I kind of like that. All right, so this last one, let's make sure it goes into 4 terabyte. And Mixbus sessions. Where is... Sorry, I'm looking for Devin, but it's not there. I don't know what happened. I'm done. I'm fine with it. This one is going to be called Make Girls Cry. Okay, my fader's moved. Ah, crap. Import mix tools. I did it again. All right, we're going to make new EDM master. Make Girls Cry. MGC. Because I started the session, but I didn't choose the template. That was not good. I did beat my daughter in chess twice in a row tonight, so I'm pretty excited about that. She thought she was going to win, but I was like, nope, not in my house, fool. Not in my house. All right, so I just deleted all 53 tracks. Command I. .808 bass, oh yeah. This one only has 144, so that's great. I'm looking at the viewers here. Let me know if you have any questions, guys, okay? We're using Harrison Mixbus 32C. I'm importing tracks. I'm organizing. I'm color coding. I'm sending different tracks to different mix buses. So that way when I'm ready to mix, all that stuff is done. Okay? That's the goal. That's the plan. But I think you will like this next genre. It's more of like Americana, cello, drums, guitar. Some of the songs have vocals, some don't. So there's that. You can see my faders moving up right here, which is kind of cool. I'm actually getting an early start tonight. Last night I didn't do this till like 1 in the morning, and that was rough. But I did work on my guitars last night. I needed to change strings on one of them because I broke a string. And so that took a long time to do that. And then I had to import tracks for, get these albums going. So come on, guys, chime in here. What do we got questions about? What do we have questions about? Or maybe you want to talk about something else. Maybe you want to talk about a new album that you're really into or something. You tried a variation of peanut butter and jelly that just rocked your face. I gotta know this stuff, okay? I'm wearing my Zayo shirt. I'm a big Zayo fan. That was it's a metal band. Started back in the 90s. And my CPU is only at 9.2. I'm running 30 frames per second in Streamlabs OBS. which is great. And all right, all my tracks are imported here. So we got snare. Let's do some searching here, and let's go through all the different places where we could get kind of some percussion. Sub, that's probably going to be like a kick. Reverse cymbal. Pre-drop. Pad. We actually have a kick in this song. I can't believe it. Kick reverse. Hats. Falling clicks. Cymbals. Background twinkles. Okay. So we're going to take all these and move them up like so. Let's go ahead and make this into a drum group. Like that. The bass is always going to go right after the drums for me. Let's see here. Intro bass. 2 different intro basses, and we have a main bass. So let's move that up right below the 808 bass. Like that. And really the 808 bass is a drum, so I'll do that, and then I'll call this bass, and we'll make it somewhat pink, something like that. Okay. See what we got going on down here. We got white noise, wobble lead, which is a synthy kind of thing. White noise, purple. Synth chords. We got a vocal in here. Third verse flute. Some cool stuff. All right, let's take our reference tracks and let's go ahead and hide those. And we'll also do the same thing to this. Bring these all the way down. Like that. So they're down there. You just can't see them because they're hidden. So I can always get back to those if I need to. I feel like the ahs need to be down. With this other vocal. So we'll put it right above the vocal there. We'll go ahead. We'll make this a group. Now this is a great lesson for you guys that do not prefix your exported tracks with like a number or something. Because otherwise, you're just going to put everything in alphabetical order and make it way more, just a lot harder for the next person, i.e. me. So, if all these were already organized, I wouldn't have to spend 15 to 20 minutes just going through each song. Which I have a Harrison Mixbus video coming out fairly soon, talking about this exact same thing. It's like, look, guys, organizing tracks in Mixbus is super easy, but if you don't do the work on the front end to make it easier on the next person, then we're just gonna have to do all this all over. So here's a down filter. I don't even know what that means. So please make it easier on the next person by literally just pressing a few buttons. All this is pad kind of stuff. So we're going to call it synth pad. We'll make sure it's orange. And synth chords, wobble leads, synth stabs, synth white noise. Okay, we'll make all this synthy stuff. Here's some chord pads that we can put in here. Dada down filter. Let's make it background twinkles. All right, so everything should be organized except for these twinkles here. Let's put it up where the other twinkles were. Next to the background twinkles. Like that. We'll just add it to that. All right, so let's highlight the drums. Let's send them to the drum bus. We have a bass this time around. We'll put that on bus 2. Our down filter, we'll make that the drop. Chord stabs, let's make that the synth. Let's have our white noise be on white noise. And then vocal chant be on vocal. All right. Let's see where the busiest part of the song is right here. It's kind of all over the place. Let's just do the middle section. Like so. All right, let's press A.
I know I'ma be okay, I've seen better days. You just come play the road. Never can you tell me I didn't wanna grow. Even at hello, you had a little dog low. All I ever tried.
Alright. That works for me. Make girls cry. All right, let's go ahead and quit this. And let's go to our hard drive here. And Mixbus sessions. We should have a... Oh, no, we're not. Those are in the music folder. I didn't put that on the external hard drive. I put that on the internal drive, which is fine. They're very, very, very small sessions. So Mac, users, Mac, music, and okay. Let's go to, let's open up a new session here. We'll move this over this way. Let's just say new session in music. We'll make it open. And we'll go here. We'll say Mac, and we'll go Dropbox. Clients, Alan Corby. So I know I've done Fireflight, Gloria. Let's just double check. So Fireflight, Gloria, Love's a Merry-Go-Round, Lullaby for Eloise, Old MacDonald Goes to the Circus. That's a great name. Pirouette. And this is literally 2 tracks. 2 tracks. All right, this is 48K, so it's downsampling to 44.1 right now. All right, folks, we're getting into a little bit of Americana. And I don't remember how to spell pirouette. Let's just go ahead and save this. Pirouette. Piro. I didn't do something right. I put in an extra T or something. All right, so this is literally a left and a right guitar. So let's pan them. Maybe about 50-50, left and right. Let's send these to a Mixbus. And let's just see what happens with this one. Let's actually move it a little bit to the middle of the session. Because I don't like having no room at the beginning to work or do stuff. So let's give this a color. So guitar. We'll make it green. Green for guitar. And let's listen. All right, let's go ahead and add some reverb. I'm not sure if he wants reverb or not, but we'll have just a little tasteful reverb sound. So this is the G verb. We'll make it a fast plate, and we'll just give it a little hint. So we'll use the matrix mix here to send everything in Mixbus 1 to go to Mixbus 12. And I'll call this Mixbus guitar. We'll go ahead and bring the threshold all the way down just to add a little bit of compression. All right, so we're peaking out at around maybe -15. There's 2 different ways we can go about this. Let's just go ahead and do the Control-6 to raise the volume up. I'm going to do the Billy Decker method of just visualizing it. Make sure I got about a 1/4 inch or so on top and bottom. That should give me enough juice. All right, that's good enough for that. So we'll save it. The next one is going to be called Sunshine. So we'll go ahead and make a new track for that. And I can't spell. Sunshine. Let's see how many tracks we have in here. We have a lot more. So let's do it this way. Check this out. So I'm just going to drag and drop into the editor window. So instead of importing in, we're going to drag and drop. Okay. And all these were recorded at 48, but I prefer to work at 44.1 because I don't really see a difference or hear a difference. So all these are going to come in. These are, for some reason, they're titled ZZ. Acoustic left and right, bass mic, BGV, drums, kick snare, Lance, vocal 2, vocal. So this has a little bit more tracks than the last one, which was only 2. And so yeah, you're literally seeing my process for importing tracks, organizing, coloring, naming, sending tracks to buses, and all that stuff. I know you're really excited to see this too. But this is the kind of stuff you have to do before you get a good static mix, EQing, compressing. You have to really organize your session to make sure you can flow and kind of float around where you need to. For the time being, I am using the Tascam US 2400. I'll show you that right over here. So I did make a trade. I had a interface from Arturia that I traded a new friend for. We just met, but I think we hit it off pretty well. He's a really cool guy. And he had a fully functioning Tascam US 2400. So I was like, yeah, let's try it out. So far, I'm kind of missing the scribble strips, not being able to see exactly what track it is. But it's fine. I can work around it. So maybe in the future, I'll have another camera kind of facing over the head, so you can see the faders. I can put those in. I may not be able to do it right now. I don't think there's enough juice. Not enough juice to make it happen. But I can try. Let's see what happens if I do something like this. Oh. I think I do see something back there. Hold on, let's see. Oh, there I am. It's not very pretty. Not very pretty. It's not wanting to tighten up. Yeah, something like that. It's kind of neat. All right, there we go. So just for fun, let's clamp that down, maybe narrow that up. Maybe narrow that up a little bit. Move it to the corner. Make it a little smaller. Smooth the Mevo up here. Mevo and the webcam. All right. There you go, fellers. There's a little mixer board for you. So I know this is not that big, but better than nothing. I could probably tighten up my shot a little bit. Kind of move me around. Just put me back down in the corner over here. All right, there you go. You can see me. You can see my faders moving around. Woo. Okay. Now, let's get this thing organized. Let's go drums left and right. Let's go and select the snare top, and let's move it to the top. Then highlight our kick and snare. Go like that. We'll do drums. And make it blue. Acoustic guitar, we'll do a bass mic. I always like to have my bass right after my drums. We'll bring Lance up here. And we have all these vocals right over here. So background vocal is going to be purple. And then lead vocal is going to be yellow. And then we have acoustic guitar. We'll group those together. AGTR. We'll make them green. Then we have a bass mic. All right. Drums are going to Mixbus 1. Bass mic is going to 2. Acoustic guitar is going to 3. Lance is going to 3. Background vocals going to 7. And then vocals going to 8. Now, I do that because I pretty much do the same thing in every session. Or at least I try to, depending on how many tracks I have. But usually for me, drums and bass are going to Mixbuses 1 and 2. Then if there's any kind of guitar, keyboards, synthesizers, strings, anything like that, that's going through 3 through 6. And then 7's background vocal, 8 is vocal. And then 9 through 12 is usually some kind of like grit track if I'm doing rock, maybe some delay, and 2 different kinds of reverbs. Now for this, let's go ahead and go to our Mixbus 11. And let's bring in our G verb once again. And we'll make this a small room. And then the vocal is going to be a fast plate, set to about 3 milliseconds. Don't really need a delay for this, but let's just see what we got going on. Let's solo these vocals up right here.
Sunshine, 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 golden, mellow it is, sunshine.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
When you feel low and you've got no sunshine.
Okay, I just want there to be a sense of some kind of room sound in there.
Sunshine.
Pan the overheads a little bit. All right, let's look at our the actual tracks here. So just make sure they're gain staged. These drums look okay. Let's hit F and just look at them. They look okay. Let's gain them up just a tad. And then same for the bass. We'll hit F. We'll gain this up. Like I said, we're going to look for like around the 1/4 inch or so. And then this could be a little bit louder. This is also going to allow us to make sure we have enough signal going into the compressors and stuff. So I'm hitting F right here. Then I'm highlighting the region and using Control 6. Then hitting Shift Z to go back to previous zoom state. So highlight the track header, hit F, select the region. So it should be selecting both of them, but whatever. Let's gain this up. It's probably doing it because these tracks aren't the same length, which you would think it wouldn't matter, but whatever. Okay. Let's go with that, shall we? Checking the comments here. You guys are dead over there. Or maybe you're just sitting back drinking in some ice cold Coke in a frothy mug. Who knows? Little bass. There's my guitar. Let's rename these real fast. Drums. Gonna have lead vocal. This is gonna be BGV. And that should be about it.
Sunshine, when you feel low and you've got no place to go, let the sun shine in. When you feel down, 'cause your friends just ain't around.
Cool. Check out. Let's use the high pass filter on this. Just kind of roll it up. Maybe brighten it up on the top end. Maybe a little 4K. Let's listen to that again. Oh yeah. All right, now remember, Mixbus 11 is our instrument verb. So let's send some of Lance to instrument verb, like so, and we'll just bring it down a little bit and let's listen. bass. You could pan it. Let's pan his guitars. Okay, so it just kind of ends there. It ends abruptly. That's interesting. Ends abruptly. Okay. Well, there's that song. It's fairly simple. Won't have to do a whole lot to that. But it sounds pretty good so far. All right, let's do the last one of this one. Then we'll go on to a country tune, some country stuff. Okay, let's go back to our Dropbox. Clients, Alan Corby, Thirsty Morning. New session is Command N. So we'll call this Thirsty Morning. I hope you guys are having fun, because I'm having a blast over here. Okay, once again, we're just gonna... Alright, this only has acoustic guitar and cello. So we'll just drag and drop like we do. I kind of look at the, I like the look of the board there in the bottom corner. It's kind of fun. That's pretty fun stuff. Display capture. Let's do something like, how can I do this? Huh. Let's try and make it a little bit bigger there. All right, let's group these two. We'll make them green. Oh, right click and make the color of this cello purple. Because I like purple. Billy says fun. He's having fun now, folks. That's all that matters. Let's highlight these. Let's send these to Mixbus 3. And the cello is going to be on 4. Because usually, like I said, drums are for 1 and then bass is on 2. Cello. Add in our reverb. Let's try a different reverb this time. We're going to go use the Arturia. Let's do a plate. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I usually have the blend 100%. Turn it to drive just a little bit, just for a little bit of character. Make the decay time about 3, whatever that is. And let's just play around with the matrix mix here. See what this sounds like. Alright, once again, we're a little low on the volume. So let's boost it up till we have about a 1/4 inch of space. I'm just using Control 6 and 7. Control 6 to boost it, Control 7 to lower it. That looks pretty good. Let's listen again. So that's just the guitar. Move the cello fader up. Let's use a spectral compressor on this one. Kind of tame some of those low mids a little bit. We'll do the same thing on the cello. Just copy that over. Put it before the fader. Before the fader on all that. Let's try it again. Alright, I'm going to cheat a little bit, just for fun. Let me show you what happens if we put a tuner plug-in on here. Sometimes cellos can tend to be a little out of tune. So all we're going to do is just put this on, bass, keep it on chromatic. And let's put this before the EQ and compression. And let's just see what happens. Oh, that's really cool. Let's move this up. Let's do a little crossfade, like so. Do the same thing here. Let's crossfade these. Nice. All right, now let's go ahead and bounce this down. Thirsty Morning. export. So our export to audio file is Control E. So let's go ahead and do that and commit it to memory. Control E. There's a lot of different formats when exporting your song. This one in particular has an Amazon Music normalized loudness, limit peak, all that fun stuff. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do we'll do a wave. No normalization. See, we can edit the export stuff right here. So we're not going to normalize. Actually, let's cancel real fast because let's check what the master looks like. That works for that. Control, I should do Command S to save, Control E to export. And we're going to call this session name. And then we're going to call this version 1. And we're going to export. How are we doing, folks? We got 4 people hanging in there. They're just hanging on by the edge of their seat. I just know it. It's about 10:17 right now. I'm going to go through maybe 1 or 2 country tunes. And then I'm going to open this folder. I'm going to copy. Go to my my Dropbox. Clients, Alan Corby, Thirsty Morning. Make a new folder called Mixes. And then paste that into that folder. I'll make another folder called Tracks. And we'll drag that in there. All right, so there's that song. You can see these check marks down here. They let you know if it's within range to be put on like CD, Spotify, Amazon, stuff like that. So that works. All right, let's go to a country band now. We're just flowing right along here. 4 terabyte. No, that's not it. Clients. Cameron Tabor. All right, here's Whipping Post. Already have these consolidated here. So let's do this. Let's pull this into a Mixbus session. I've been broke down, and I've been lied to. Let's put this on the 4 terabyte under Mixbus sessions. Let's create a new folder called Cameron Tabor Band. And then let's do wait, I already have some stuff in there. Okay. There we go. This one's going to be called Whipping Post. So obviously this is a cover. And this type of stream is by no means, I don't care about getting like Google AdSense advertisements or anything like that. So we're just going to play the music cuz I'm here working. You're just sitting on like a fly on the wall. Okay? Now these tracks were exported out of Reaper. So I intentionally had a prefix of 01, 02, and so on. So yeah, that's how that works. So somebody comment in the chat. Let me know you guys are still alive over there. I did a mix of this in Logic, but I really prefer Mixbus for pretty much anything mixing because it's just so much easier to work with. Mike, I actually have a M1 Mac Mini that is not working yet. Mike Sadler, all the way from Australia, mate. That's cool. So it's 10:22 here. You're about 19 hours ahead of me. So it's already, this is crazy. It is already about 6 o'clock your time the next day. So you're already Tuesday going into Wednesday. And I'm Monday going into Tuesday. That's how crazy that time difference is. I have a friend in Christchurch, New Zealand. Christchurch, New Zealand. And he was like 19 hours ahead of me. So 13:33. I was close. So it's about 1 o'clock your time. It's not too bad. Yes, I have an M1 Mac Mini, and it's sitting behind me over here. But when I got it, I can't get it past the admin password stage. I can't set up anything to get it going. It's kind of baffling. So Mike is from the future. How is it like in the future, Mike? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. All right, so we already have a verb on here. So check this out. Because I literally exported the stems. Actually, it's just drums. Alright, let's do a little gain staging here, folks. So I know my drums need to be grouped together. Sometimes I feel like I've been down to the whipping post. Down to the whipping post, yeah. All right, now one thing I didn't do, check this out. When I exported these tracks, they are technically stems. So I'm kind of second guessing myself now if I want to do it this way. I probably don't. All right, let me do it this way. Let me go back. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to delete these tracks here. I'll still keep it. No, I'll still keep this session. But I'm going to redo the consolidation part of things. Okay? So let's go to our whipping post session. And we're going to open up Reaper, which is what I recorded this in. I've been using Reaper for about 10 years. Okay. All right, so on these tracks, I do have a Steven Slate trigger pulled up. Warm and sunny, even in the middle of winter. I can't believe it. Lunchtime on Tuesday. Wow. Matt, what's on this? Spectral compressor. All right, let's do a little pre-processing here. I got this plug-in about a month ago and I really like it. This is the SSL channel strip. Okay. Let's go right here. So we're going to hit split, channel out, bring the threshold all the way up, bring the ratio up to about 2. This is the Kevin Ward trick. Okay. Let's go ahead and solo the vocal. And I don't hear anything because it seems to be out analog 1 and 2. All right, now we should be able to hear something.
My friends tell me I've been such a fool. I had to stand by and take it, baby, all for loving you. Drown myself in sorrow as I look at what you've done.
Let's do a little high pass filter.
To change, the bad times stay the same, and I can't run. Sometimes I feel like I've been tied to that whipping post. Tied to that whipping post. Tied to that whipping post. Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
All right, that sounds good. So what I'm going to do is hit save. I'm going to right click on this render region. I'm doing track number and track. I'm choosing tracks with only mono media to mono files and multi-channel tracks to multi-channel files. So that's what I didn't do before, and that's where I messed up. So we should have 16 tracks rendered. I can check the matrix mix on that. So we're doing all tracks except for the master mix. Okay. I'm going to hit apply. And then this is going to go to, let's make sure this is going out to where I want. So we're going to do whipping post, consolidate, and we're not really set up with a tempo, so I'm not going to, they didn't play to a click on this. So now we're just going to render it. You can see it's going to render down mono to mono, stereo to stereo. Okay? And there's a video by Ben Loftus on the Harrison Consoles YouTube channel showing how he set this up to work with Mixbus. It also works with Logic, pretty much anything that uses Mackie control. I finally got this to work with Reaper finally. I need to make a quick video showing how I do this, by the way, but no M1 support. Well. Alright, so let's go ahead and show this in Finder. So here's all of our tracks. We'll close this. We'll keep that open for now. Alright, now we're just going to drag and drop. Okay, so check this out. Boom. So now we're going to have it correct. We're going to have a mono kick instead of a stereo, which is great. That's what you want. And it's just going to take a second to get the tracks imported here. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the Tascam question. Yes, it is technically a MIDI controller. It's just there's no audio passing through it. It just controls faders on the screen. Now there are all these buttons over here that I can assign. And I'll show you kind of what I've done so far. And also what I've learned so far. I do like this board. I'll keep it for a little while, make some videos with it, and probably end up selling it off just because I prefer having scribble strips and all that. So you should have 16 tracks right here. So the last 4 aren't even being used. So I would really prefer to get a QCon Pro X main section and then also an extender. That'll give me 16 faders to work with. Because I just feel like most of my sessions are going to be about 16 faders. And then if I need more, I can just bank over to the next bank to get another 16 groups of faders. Plus, my desk is only so big, and the Tascam just takes up a lot of space. So, but for now, I think it works great. All right, let's make a quick mix here. Let's just pull all the faders down. And I'm going to put this, hit the meters mode. And I'm also going to put all this in pre-fader metering. So that way I can do stuff like this. Oh, I started is all the way over here. Let's do that. There we go. You can see in pre-fader metering, I can see exactly what tracks are playing. So there's my bass. Some other drums, kick and snare. There's a reverb.
I've been run down, I've been lied to. I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool.
So the cool thing about the way Reaper consolidates to tracks using the region matrix kind of thing, you can choose to either bypass the effects or print the effects. And that's what I did here. Ah, crap, it still did it. I had these tracks panned, and that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to pan them that way. Because that's not panned. But these are panned hard left and right. And that's panned. The slide is panned. Alright, that's fine. I'm just going to roll with it. Okay? Let's go with it.
I've been run down, I've been lied to. I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money. I'm dying.
All right, so a lot of these tracks are a little hot. So I'm going to select all these and then use the Control 7 just to bring them down just a little bit. Because my kick is a little loud. My snare, I can bring that back up a little bit. Bass was a little hot. Bring that guitar up. Let's bring all these up. Like so. Maybe bring my vocal down just a smidge. Let's go ahead and bring the threshold down on here. Let's get him going with some compression.
I've been run down, I've been lied to.
So this has the leveler on his voice.
I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool.
I'm bringing down the threshold till I see some gain reduction. And then I'm bringing back up the gain for like a just bring the gain back up.
Buddies, and they're drinking in some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel like I've been tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
And bring that slide down a little bit. All right, now let's take the drums one more time. We'll make them blue. We got the bass. We got the guitars. Slide. And then Cam's vocal is going to be yellow. Matt's bass is pink. And then we got this verb right here. Let's go down here.
My friends tell me,
Hey, how's it going, Glenn?
I had to stand by and take it, baby. Oh, for loving you.
All right, let's add the Waves tuner. And he's mono. So let's do an audio unit. It doesn't matter. Da, da, da. It's thinking, it's thinking. It's thinking. Okay. Save and save often, my friend. So he's a tenor. We'll keep it chromatic. And let's just see what it does.
My friends tell me I've been such a fool. I had to stand by and take it, baby. Oh, for loving you. Drown myself in sorrow as I look at what you've done. Nothing seemed to change. The bad times stay the same. And I can't run. Sometimes I feel. Sometimes I feel like I've been tired of that whipping post. Tired of that whipping post. Tired of that whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
Bum, 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 All right, let's add that G verb plugin in here. Let's make it a large room, but we'll lower the time a little bit here, just below 1 second. And let's see what happens if we add some drums to that. So let's do let's name this short verb. Then we'll name this V verb. And let's make sure our tracks are being sent to the buses here. Guitar. I'm holding down command as I do this. And then vocal. And now, since these are already grouped, I'm going to hold down Shift to bypass send the toms. I didn't have a room mic for this, so pretty much everything except for the hi-hat and the kick. Let's just bring all this down. Like so. So the reverb will act as my my room mic, in a sense. Let's pan our overheads. Get these toms panned here. Okay, let's actually raise the gain on all this just a little bit. All right, just for fun, let's go in and let's choose a section. Let's right click and let's do optimize polarity. Let's make sure that our drums are polarized, if you will. So they're already pretty good. We're only going to gain about 0.16 dB of gain. So let me show you here. So the kick is being flipped, but if we do peak, the kick and the right overhead is being flipped. RMS is just the kick. Alright, so let's just see what that sounds like. So let's go back to in. Let's go old. So there's nothing. Let's make sure this is looped, and then we'll press L for loop. Alright, so that's nothing flipped. There's with the kick flipped. And there's with the overhead right and the kick flipped. Alright, we'll just trust the software and we'll go with that.
Now she's one of my good times.
Alright, let's go find a vocal here. Solo up the vocal. We'll stick it right here.
My friends tell me I've been such a fool. I had to stand by and take it, baby. Oh, for loving you. Drown myself in sorrow. As I look at what you've done, nothing seemed to change. The bad times stay the same, and I can't run. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I've been tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
bringing up the drive knob here. Just kind of get some tape action going on. Those buses. Turn it up on the master bus. Just use the trim knob. Bring this up to 0. All right, let's do a little something different. Let's save this, and then let's go to creator and waves, and let's do a stereo SSL channel, 'cause we can. So split, channel out, threshold all the way up. Let's play it. I'm gonna add a little 8K on the high frequencies.
Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I've been tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
Oh, geez, oh, Pete. All right, let's do stereo L2. This is another plugin I bought, because why not? They were cheap. $30 for a plugin, that's nothing. Let's just check it out. Let's put it after the fader. Let's do the same spot here. Actually, I can use my shuttle, which is really cool. I can use that to move around the track. I can press play.
I've been run down, I've been lied to. I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money, wrecked my new car. Now she's one of my good.
Whoa. Whoa. Sorry, Reaper was playing. I'm like, man, what is going on? All right, shutting down Reaper, because that was confusing. Sorry about that.
I've been run down,
There we go.
I've been lied to. I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money, wrecked my new car. Now she's one of my good time buddies, and they're drinking in some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I've been tired of that whipping post, tired of that whipping what you've done. Nothing seemed to change. The bad times stay the same. And I can't run. Sometimes I feel. Sometimes I feel like I've been tired of that whipping post. Tired of that whipping post. Tired of that whipping post. Good Lord, I feel like I'm dying.
All right, so you can see here that I'm only using a handful of plugins on this whole session. Everything else is just, I didn't really even touch the EQ yet. I'll go back and do that. I'm just kind of roughing everything in right now, and then I can go back and tweak even more later. All right, let's do one more. Let's just do one more song. So this one is going to be this one's going to be another Reaper session at first. And we'll do this. We're going to do Camera Tabor. So this right here, this was all done these were all done the same day. And then the other ones, we've already released Jumping In. She Ain't Perfect. Champagne and Whiskey. Coming Down. Happy Being Me. Let's see what Little At a Time is here. I hadn't touched this song since September 15th, 2019. So the band took a slight little hiatus for about a year and a half. But now they're back. Better than ever. So guys, if you're watching, go ahead and comment. Let me know what kind of questions you have. Otherwise, I'm assuming you're just kind of enjoying the show. Whoa. All right. What do we have going on here? We got some EQ. All right, let's go to our let's go here. We got drum sampler, Steven Slate. We got Easy Drummer. Why do we have Easy Drummer? Oh, that's just for a click track. Audio to MIDI. Interesting. Retune. All right, I'm going to take off all the plugins on this thing. Just start from scratch, because I'm not even sure what's going on. Take out that EQ. This was just like a scratch kind of thing. So let's see, we want to make sure this is coming out of analog 1 and 2, preferably. And something is being soloed, like the vocal. All right, let's check it out.
At a time, well, just keep your love true and have.
Wait a second. I feel like they've released this. Yeah, okay. We already released this song. So don't have to worry about that one. Let's just quit that. We're not going to save it. And let's find a different one we hadn't done yet. Coming down. I touched this one May 24th, 2021. So that'll be a good one to do. Oh no, I use the Harrison EQ all the time. But right now I'm only worried about just static mixes. And especially when I record in Reaper, a lot of the times I will do some pre-processing with the SSL channel strip, just kind of fatten up the tracks. So that way when I get it into Mixbus, everything's kind of already sounding pretty good. I'll just use the EQ and compression in Mixbus to sweeten things up. It really just depends on what I'm doing. Coming down. All right, let's just listen to what we got here. All right, once again, make sure our 1 and 2 is being sent out. Let's make sure we're deleting that. All right, here we go. Oh. Alright, so this is interesting right here. We actually lowered the song half step using Reaper. I think he's going to have to come back and do vocals on this eventually, which is interesting. But, you know, it is what it is. And I could probably export these just fine. Let's listen to the chorus. All right, so our main drum sound right here is the trigger. I have a country kick preset in there, which is using a medium maple gum and a rock god natural. So that's what that sounds like right here. Mike, I mainly track right now. I mainly track in Reaper. Only for the sheer fact that sometimes I need to tune and edit stuff. And I'm just faster in doing that in Reaper. So that's why all these tracks are in Reaper. And then I'm consolidating them down and then sending those over to Mixbus later on to mix. So let's make sure we have all these panned or up the middle. So that way we don't get a weird thing happening with the other track. Alright, so that's all the muted tracks. Let's go ahead and Let's save as, just for a backup on this. Key of B version 2. So now I can remove these tracks, and let's remove our drum group like so. And we don't need scratch or the shaker. And that really narrows down a lot of stuff here. Okay. Very good. So our session is going to start right here. So let's do Shift R. That's going to make a region. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make sure I highlight the tracks with only media and the mono and multi-channel stuff. Let's go to wildcards. Go to track number. And also track. So there's my name of the track. I'm going to go to region matrix. I'm going to choose all tracks. So it's all 15. And now I'm going to go to browse. Coming down. Let's call this coming down. Console BPM 102. All right. So now we're going to go there, and everything looks good. We'll make this 24-bit. And there we go. MB official question. Here we go. Not to my knowledge, but you can hide plugins. So I'll show you how to do that here in a second, okay? So here's all my tracks. The singer decided to wait to sing this one a little bit later. But we'll go ahead and import these tracks in. I'm going to show you how to hide different plugins. Okay? New section. Other. 4 terabyte. Mixbus sessions. Where is... man. Camera taper band. Open. And this one's called Coming Down. All right, so let's import our tracks, and then I'll show you how to hide whatever plugins you don't want to see. Okay? So we'll just drag and drop, and we'll wait a second here. So we should have mono tracks where they're mono, and we should have stereo tracks when they are stereo. And everything's going to be panned at the middle. Nothing crazy like we had in the other song. I can always go back and fix that if it really bugs me. But for now, it is what it is. And this song right here, I probably need to do some tracking on myself just to help flesh it out. Maybe add another rhythm part or something. We do have a reverb on here. All right, so this is just for Billy. Here you go, Billy. So we're going to double click on this black area. This is the plugin selector window. Okay. Now, what we can do, let's say we have none of the XT plugins chosen, right? Or we don't have any of them licensed. So what we can do is we can go in and we can hide all these XTs. Okay. I'm going to clear that search. And now if I choose show hidden only, we should be able to see all the XT plugins right here. Okay. Now, I don't know why some of these are hidden. Show all. Let's go to our XTs here at the end. And we don't see them in there. So, for example, if I go to new plugin by creator, Harrison, none of the XT plugins are showing up because I hid them. Okay. So that's that's really the best way I know of is to organize your plugins in a way to where you just don't see them. Okay. You can also do this. You can add certain plugins to your favorites. So let's go back. Let's type in Ava. And let's say I want to make sure I definitely want to use like Vocal Flow, VST3. Let's do a bass flow, the legacy Q, multiband compressor, and spectral compressor. Okay. So we've made those a favorite. And now when we go back here, new plugin and favorites, we only see the favorite plugins. Okay. So instead of going by creator or by popularity popularity is sometimes good because if you use a certain plugin all the time, it's going to show up by popularity, right? But yeah, I would definitely just do favorites or just go hide whatever plugins you don't want to see for sure, okay? He likes Billy's question too. Well, like I said, I just think it's easier to, let's say if we type in FAV, see nothing shows up under fave because it's, all right, so check this out. You can't really see this that well, but we have show effects only, show instruments only, show utilities only, show favorites only. So if we click that, you're only going to see the favorites. Okay, so now you can just click on it, add it, and then insert plugin. But to me, if you're going to do that, you might as well just right click, go new plugin, favorites, and then all your favorites will be right there. So if you do the work once, you should only see your favorites every time after that, versus double clicking here to a plugin selector and having show favorites only show up right there. Because then you have to select it, you have to choose add, then you have to do insert. And that's like 3 different clicks, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The less clicks, the better, I think. So yeah, I would just right click and then favorites, and then bam, there's your favorites. Okay. Maybe we want to add some Ace plugins to our favorites. Let's add the Ace compressor, the Ace delay, the ACQ, Ace reverb. Definitely do our trigger. Type stuff. Okay. So now we can see our Ace and our Ava in the favorites. So right click, new plugin, favorites, and then bam, there's my plugins right there. Okay, so for me, I will go to my master, new plugin, favorites. I like to have a multi-band compressor on there. And then let's say I wanted to have something else added to my favorites. Let's go to waves. Let's make sure our real-time tuner and L2 and stereo and SSL, mono and stereo. Okay. So now I have some more options here. Here's my waves, there's my Ava, and there's my Ace. So you just got to decide what you want to do. Like how many plugins do you really need? And I would just put them all in your favorites. So that way they're just there. Right there for you when you need them. Okay? And I think you can't see that. Let me slide this over a little bit. Sorry about that. There we go. Now you can probably see what I'm doing. Right click, new plugin. Still can't see it. Right click, new plugin, favorites. There you go. Mike says he does the favorites thing for what it's worth. That's what I would do. If you have certain plugins you use all the time, then that's just the best thing to do. So once again, let's double click. Let's go to our G-verb. Let's go to reverb. And let's add in our, let's do a Valhalla room. Huh. LV2. Trying to see where the Harrison reverb is. Oh, it's show favorites only. That's probably why. Rev intensity. Verbiage. Sorry, I was looking for the Harrison reverb, but I don't see it. All right, that's fine. I know where it is. Just go to Harrison consoles. Oh, wait a second. I hid all that. All right, let's do this. Show hidden only. So now, that's what I did. I hid the XTG verb, which is not what I wanted to do. So G, verb, let's go stereo. Add it to favorites. There we go. I accidentally hid what I didn't want to hide earlier. So that's fine. All right, let's import our tracks in here. Like so. Wait, did I already do this? Hold on, cancel. Yeah, I did, sorry. My bad. Remove. Okay. There we go. Let's go here and let's call these drums. New bass. Grand guitar. That's going to be green. Bass is going to be some kind of pink kind of color. All right. Let's make sure these are going to drums. Bass is going to bass. Guitar is going to 3. And that's all we have so far. Let's strike this mix and let's just build it up from the ground up. Let's put this in pre-fader mode so I can see the faders moving on the screen or on my board. I like the Waves tuner. I think it's good. I use the Reaper retune a lot. But for just a good run-of-the-mill kind of catching little off notes here and there, I think the Waves retune is really well. Or not RT tune, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so let's bring up our kick. Let's just let's loop this right here. Go back here. Yeah, I'll definitely go back and I'll add another rhythm guitar to that. Maybe an acoustic guitar, just kind of help fill it out. And yeah, that's some good, decent rough mixes here. And when the singer is ready to do his vocal, I'll just cut it all here in Mixbus and not worry about Reaper to record that stuff. All right, guys, I think this has been a good night. We went through some EDM tracks, some Americana fingerstyle acoustic guitar type stuff, and some country stuff. So I can't go too far into the weeds with all of these songs because they're not really released, and I don't want to sit here and just like EQ drums and bass and just play the songs over and over and over. So it is what it is. Maybe I can do some behind the scenes content for my website, possibly. But thanks guys for watching. I am glad you guys were able to ask some questions and just kind of, you know, hang out with me while I did some work. Okay, I'm not really, I'm not familiar with SoundGrid, but hey, it sounds good. All right, Billy, thanks for everything. Thanks for commenting and hanging out. And Mike and everybody else who chimed in throughout the night. So I stayed up pretty late last night, and yeah, I'm going to bed now. So thanks guys for watching. I am Doctor